goodness. It's Monday! Man, have I missed you all. You know what else I've missed? I have missed this. The being able to talk. Literally had a whole entire week of me having zero voice. I sounded like this. And what's really sucked is that I kept pushing it to the point where I had to. Unfortunately, that was last. So, what have you missed? Well, there's a lot going on in the world. So let's talk about some things. First of all, let's D&D Beyond. Our sponsor for the night, and if you pop over there right, you can pre-order the next book that's coming out June of 2020, Odyssey of the Theros. Odysseys, nope, I've got that wrong. Remind me of the name again. Hold on, I got it right. Mythic Odysseys of Theros. It is actually Magic the Gathering. While that Magic the Gathering setting is like Greek mythology, you're talking Hydras and Heracles, or Hercules, if you will. All sorts of wonderful things like that. The Medusa, the true Gorgons, not the big metal bull thing that like breathes acid and can freeze you in place, but the actual Gorgons. That's coming out June 2nd, 2020. It's going to be a huge hype. If you're in the Huntsville area, I guarantee it that I will be running a Magic the Gathering crossover weekend, just like I did for Ravnica. So keep your peepers open for that coming soon. But like I said, on D&D Beyond right now, you can pre-order the book for when it's released, and I myself will make that I have it when it comes to. Give me just 1 second here. Thank you. I see that. And let's see if I can't. I need to do something about getting a repeater back here so that it boosts my signal out. All right. You may lose me. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We got important shit to do. I've just got to hit all the buttons on my phone. I'll be right back. I'm just fucking with you. I'm here. I'm just holding still. Okay. So, is that any better?
It's not cutting out as much.
Okay. I am doing my best to run this Wi-Fi off of my hotspot, so we'll see what happens. All right. In the meantime, the camera looks great. Let me tell you. All right. So again, D&D Beyond running a special or not a special, but running the release for their new book that's coming out. Again, that's going to be in June 2nd of this year, 2020. It is the Mythic Odysseys of Theros. I know that we'll drop it. And again, like I was saying, you will probably see me do a crossover weekend at the cafe for that event. Speaking of, for those of you who are in the Huntsville area and are looking for something to do on Saturday nights, you can catch me from here on out over at Liquor Express running adventures on Saturday nights. We're going to have multiple tables, multiple DMs. It's $20, but you get some good discounts off of liquor there at the place, as well as discounts from and free delivery from Mario's at 5 Points, which I had their chicken marsala last night while I was listening to this really great band that I had never heard of before called Otonana Trio, a Japanese funk band. It was fantastic. But the chicken marsala was fantastic. They have all sorts of great food, and at Liquor Express, they have all sorts of wonderful drinks. So you can grab a frosty beverage and sit down and play some Dungeons and Dragons with me and a few others here in the area. So let's see. Coming up, we've got the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, where you can find me again. I will be running games for Dire Bear Adventuring Company, and I have 3 games slated right now, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. I will double check that to make sure. I don't know. But if I'm not mistaken, that is what I've got going on. Audio still good? How's my camera? Camera 1, camera 2. All right, great. So that's all of the news that I have for now, unless I'm missing anything. Oh, I am missing something. For all of those who have played with me or have had a chance to watch this show, soon you will be able to give us a glowing review on Google, as I have set up my business on the Google review to be reviewed on the Google by you, the Googler, who can then review us using Google as a business, if you will. Do I get an extra account for money for every time I say Google?
It's like you're trying to get a sponsor.
I don't know what you're talking
poison for Cusco.
The
poison created specifically for Cusco's poison.
Cusco's poison. Yeah, exactly. But no, I will be releasing more information on that. Don't forget, you can join our Discord for free. If you would, we appreciate any support from Patreon. And if you're looking to run a game, but you need a DM, you can hire us, because that's what we do. We have plenty of talented DMs and happy to get with you and give you a pricing on it and have you guys set up and ready to go. In the meantime, though, you came here to talk about this show. So last time we met, 2 weeks ago, where I lost my voice, they were attacked by a Bahir on the road north, heading toward Ferryton, where they can catch the boat across the strait to the Walsh Island, and defeated the Bahir, not before it did some damage to them. But their scholar remembered that Bahir are a singular creature, and they usually hole up in their own little place. Tracking it back, they found a treasure trove, some items that might help them in the long run. One of them, though, spoke, or I should say, somebody spoke to an individual talking about how the blade wasn't worthy for them. And they also said goodbye to a friend, a new friend. Baddock taking his time to bid them not really a farewell, but kind of as he left, giving them the nod and heading upon his own way. The sunlight over the break that is made by the fallen trees doesn't allow much light into the cavern as it is, but there's enough. And you realize that full-on day has hit you. Hannah, who looks shaken by the whole situation of what happened, especially given that this creature came after her in the keystone, the orb that has all of this information on it. She was absolutely terrified by what happened, but thankful that you all were able to put a quick end to the creature that looked to take over this item. Particularly with regards to her Oni protector, she seems to hover and cling a little closer to you, Ezra.
Oh, that is more than fine.
As she is packing up her gear, you notice that... What is your passive perception again?
It's 18.
18? You can tell that she, normally very keen and sure of herself and her actions and motions, seems to be stumbling about, or at least lost in thought or something. And you watch her unpack something, look around for it, only to find it, look at her bag curiously, and pack it again. She seems distracted, if you will.
I'll go over to her, check up on her. Hannah, is everything all right?
I'm still a bit reeling from all that happened yesterday. I know it'd be a dangerous item, but I wasn't expecting it to endanger all of you. I feel put out. I feel bad about the whole situation.
Well, no matter if you feel bad or not, we are still able to handle it, and we did our job. They're out alive.
True, but it could have nearly cost you your lives for all this, and I'm glad we're close, but I still feel we have a few days left of travel, and if that thing attacked us, I'm curious as to what other things are drawn to this. I'm afraid, to be perfectly honest with you.
We're here to help out as much as you need us to. We know now that, I guess, things are after this. So, keeping a watch is all we can hope.
But I don't understand. It's not as if there's... I don't understand why that thing would target. This is just a keystone, it's just an orb. I mean, I don't understand. What would have driven it to do such things?
Well, it seems like you may have not found out all the information before going for it. That would be my only guess. Has your, sorry, I couldn't remember if it was teacher or master of sorts, told you everything about what you were going after?
Fairly certain he hasn't. He sort of plays things close to the chest when he can.
Well, perhaps whenever we get there, we can get the full story.
Perhaps. I'm ready to put this all behind us. And she looks around where she has her things set out and quickly makes sure that there's nothing left before slinging her pack onto her shoulder.
I guess the last question I have is, do you want to ride with me, or would you prefer riding on your own?
And she kind of looks sheepish. Her face reddens a little at the cheeks. She says, "If it's no trouble, I'd prefer to ride with you."
No trouble at all.
Excellent. Packing up, there's a lot of gold. There's a lot of money in this cavern.
Everyone grab as much as you can take.
Just pockets shoved full of gold.
Sound like we're going to a laundromat going down the road.
It's cargo pants day, and you have all your coins in your cargo pants.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Chainmail made exclusively of coins.
yeah. You guys were given. You found some items. Quickly, for those of you who weren't here, what items did you come across?
I found the Ion Stone of Insight.
Mm-hmm.
Ion Stone of Insight for Wisdom, Ion Stone of Dexterity, which is without an owner yet, and a Scimitar of Speed, which Satiel chucked across the room.
Yeah, he was convinced.
Yeah. Well, he's just like, because that's the first time that his spirit has been disapproving like that to him. Because she didn't say anything about the luck blade. But the Scimitar of Speed, on the other hand, she's like, "You what?" He's like, "Okay."
True. It. But also keep in mind, there's a difference between the luck blade and that scimitar.
Yep.
So yeah, you guys have found a few things and a heap of gold. How much gold, remind me?
16,000.
16,000 gold pieces, which I will say that off screen, Eric and I, Satiel and I, did some mathifications to figure out how much of that you could actually take with you. It comes down to, I think, like 20 gold pieces. I think that's about like per person.
Really?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no,
Of course.
I know.
I'm kidding. Of course.
Satiel's in the process of he's just sort of crouched by one part of it, and sort of absent-mindedly with a bag, just like shoveling armfuls of gold into the bag, just sort of staring off into space.
As it just disappears into the bag, and you keep stacking it in there.
Yep.
And it doesn't seem to change the shape of the bag as you can just continuously.
Mm. As via those calculations, we figured out that this giant stack of money does not go over 500 pounds nor exceed 64 volumetric cubic feet.
That is true. And yes, you did take some of the coin for your travels.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
You
he
all-
took like 200 platinum with him
okay.
ish, if I remember correctly.
That's fine by me.
I wrote down 214 platinum.
Yeah, I think we split it up 7
Yeah.
ways.
All right. Stacking all of the gold into the bag, you look as he is scraping in the last of the coin. The satchel doesn't make a sound. It doesn't clank around or chink or anything else like that, like coin would. And Satiel deftly and easily lifts the bag off of the ground, not one gold piece or platinum piece missing there. He makes a
Wow.
thorough search of all of the stalagmites to make sure there's nothing hidden behind one of them.
Yeah, and while he's doing this, he doesn't really greet anybody. He doesn't say hi or anything. There's no real smile on his face. He's just sort of like blank face, just going through this. He's just like going through the motions, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Zora's gonna walk up and be like, "Are you okay?"
Oh, not really.
You're usually a bit more calculated.
As opposed to just absent-mindedly doing things, I suppose.
Well, no. The mask with the hag, the whole accent bit, your magic requires you to be calculated, so you usually display yourself very calculated.
Okay.
You chucked a sword that's made of magic. The spell that you threw at that creature back there wasn't as calculated as some of your other spells.
Yes. Well, as to the latter one, considering the things we've been running into lately, I figured it best to learn some of the more evocative arts of my field, as opposed to spells that I had learned previously to enhance the effectiveness of my allies or control the battlefield around us.
And first trial run didn't go as you wanted it to.
Oh no, that's not what I'm worried about. I mean, I feel bad for Tongaroa, but Tonga's tough. I know he could take that.
Then
One of the things that is not entirely well known about my people is each one of us has a celestial spirit that watches over us, unless we have fallen. When I picked up that scimitar, I figured I could use it to improve my combat effectiveness, because I'm proficient with it. But that is the first time I have ever really had what might as well be the only hesitate to say the only one of the, I suppose, mother figures of my life be rather angry with me. Not used to that.
yeah, moms get angry.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure there's a reason.
Well, what she said was that it wasn't worthy of me. That I needed to find her.
Your mom's a sword?
I'm
giving you shit. I mean,
now, given the context of the conversation, I don't actually think you're far off.
there's a lot to unpack with that.
Yes, well, ever since I was young, I've always been skilled with some form of blade.
This isn't giving it any less to unpack.
I know, but it does lend a little bit of credence.
And hasn't protested with any other swords.
No other sword I've ever wielded. Granted, I don't think she got angry with the luck blade because it's not a weapon. I'm just gonna cover Twitch chat because it's not a weapon that I am entirely proficient in using. But I'm just gonna move my notes over here so I can't see it. There we go. Brief OC. Fuck all y'all.
I had it covered, so I just like flipped it over and I'm like, oh, okay, puns.
Yeah. Don't get me started. I will derail this whole thing with bear puns. It'll happen.
Not even playing a druid this time.
Well,
That would be unbearable.
Ooh,
Hey, at least I
Anyway.
have the qualifications to make those puns.
I am going to apologize for derailing that super touching moment. Please get back at it.
This is grisly.
she's just like, well, maybe don't pick up a lot of magic swords. Maybe ask her first. Maybe ask her why next time you talk to her. You can talk to her, probably, right?
Yes, we do share a mental connection. I was planning on asking next time we rested.
If she's a motherly figure, I'm sure she won't mind explaining her reasons to a child.
I suppose.
Also, just closing stream chat again.
Yeah, I'm moving Microsoft Word back over that again.
Just trying. It's been a weird week. It's been a really
It
weird
has.
week. Maybe the boat ride will be quiet.
Let us not tempt fate, shall we?
This is true.
On the plus side, we have more than enough funds to better outfit our adventuring group.
There's more gold than I have seen in my life. This
Between-
is.
Between you and me too.
I mean, I'm just gonna buy something really nice when we get back to, like, civilization.
Speaking of nice things, I know you said no previously, but I want to ask again. He'll hold up the stone. It's like, are you sure you do not want this? I think you will benefit.
There's 5 other people in this group that would benefit it more than I do.
I'm aware, but out of everyone in this party, you're the only one that has no magic enhancements like the rest of us.
I've got Buttercup.
Buttercup is a horse.
Buttercup is fantastic. I don't need a lot.
Buttercup is still a magic enhancement.
Can you throw Buttercup at an enemy?
Could you?
Buttercup, I choose you.
He stops, thinks about that for a moment.
Without using magic.
Okay, no.
Horse. Yeah, and no catapulting my horse, please.
Well, no, she wouldn't be catapulted. At most, she'll just be lifted off the ground and then levitated about height.
We're not. No. We're not using my horse as a weapon.
Can we use my horse as a weapon?
Weaponized horses.
Yes, those are called
Equine.
cavaliers.
That's how chariots were made.
Weaponized horses.
Like I said, there's 5 other people here that would benefit from that more than I would. I fling magic. I'm not up there punching people or hitting people with swords or knives or anything like that. I'm far away or up in the air.
True. Speaking of which, when did you want to begin that training that you asked for?
Well, we'll probably have time on the ferry ride. You can school my dumb butt on the way there.
He'll reach over just to ruffle it. You're anything but dumb.
Mm,
You're a lot wiser than you let on.
don't tell the others.
He'll just look up. Hey, Ezra!
Yeah?
Catch!
Um,
It's the Iron Stone of Dexterity.
oh, okay. You're sure?
He thumbs back at Zora.
You could get a lot more use out of it than I could.
Okay. Actually, Ezra's gonna, like, mosey on over. Actually, I've been thinking about what you said with this orb, and he'll pull out the one that Hannah gave to him, and it's better off in your hands than having something focus me up front. So if you'd like to take it, and you're probably the best of us that can get away faster.
Is Hannah okay with it? Does she know we currently have it?
Hannah gave it to me, and I don't think she will mind if I give her the proper explanation about it.
Okay. If it tries to get to me, I'll just go 90 feet up. I think I can only do that for so long, though. So
I will make sure to take down anything that's in front of you fast.
Well, if it is the spell that I think of, it will last for about an hour.
I
magic.
really don't think
Just
that.
touch.
Double checking that as I speak.
Oh,
I
Which
really
one?
don't think it'll last an hour. Fly, it only lasts 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay, yeah. He's distracted.
I mean, I could probably recast it another time, but I think we're good for a little bit of time.
All right. Any other posturings or conversations that need to be had?
the only thing Ezra would quickly do is let Hana know that Zora is the one that has the keystone.
Okay. She looks at you timidly and thanks you for letting her know, and decides that it's probably best that it stays there for now.
Sort of tucks it in her pack.
With that, the party mounts up and heads north. The next several days, nothing happens. Nothing occurs. The woods, the forest that has been so dense and rocky around you, starts to break to flat lands, thinning out as you go, and eventually, like a hole in the side of a tree or the hole in the side of a fence made out of nothing but trees, you break into the light of. Ahead of you is nothing but open field, nothing to see, except in the distance, a single town walled in on all sides. The faint smell of sea spray catches your nose. You realize that you are very, very to the coast.
Kind of breaking up a little bit again.
If I switch back over there, it's horrible on my side.
Sorry.
Okay. Give the DM just one moment.
He's going to go hit the router with a hammer. I'm sure he'll be fine.
I mean,
Fist fight it.
percussive maintenance is sometimes the way that you just have to go.
Honestly, it works on some stuff.
But you know what? This is a good opportunity. So, in the days that we're traveling, as we're approaching the town, Justari at some point will ride up next to Tangaroa. I'd ask if you have a minute, but I mean, we're all traveling in the same direction, so unless I'm interrupting a conversation, do you mind if we chat?
I got time.
You're doing it again with that drink thing. You do that perfect line, and then you take a drink from your McDonald's cup. You did that on
McDonald's?
Thursday, too!
Not endorsed.
Not endorsed.
We're
I'm loving
not endorsed.
it. Sponsor us.
Tuesday we're trying to
audio
get
check.
Cinnabon.
Go
Am
ahead,
I cutting out?
Trying
Still?
to get a real
Does it
circus for Wednesday, I think.
Kind of. I owe you an apology. Not for what I said so much as how I said it.
All right.
I still firmly believe that putting me in danger was not the right call, but that's besides the point. It's in the past. We're gonna move on from there, but shaming you in front of everybody else was wrong. And if Midas knew that that's how I had been treating you, he'd have been severely disappointed in me. And there are times and places to apply shame, and there are times and places to sit down and have calm discussions about how to do things better or do things differently. And I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting you guys to come back for me anyway. And I wouldn't have blamed you if you didn't.
Now, I don't know if I'm ready to accept your apology. Because frankly, I don't know if you're going to change. And I think actions speak significantly louder than words. And should you show me that you will change and that you're not going to do this, then yes, I will forgive you. Because it is incredibly difficult to have my honor challenged multiple times, my morality questioned many times in front of the whole group, and then just come and apologize to me and think it's all going to be better. I'm not going to say I don't think well of you, Zastari, but it's definitely not going to affect how I treat you. But things are not just better magically because of an apology. So I will need you to show me that you're not going to do this, and I will show you that I can improve as well. Does that sound fair?
Sure.
Great. Thank you for speaking with me about it, though.
As much as I try to act like I'm perfect, I know very damn well I'm not.
Nobody's perfect.
And sometimes it may take me a little bit longer just to get to the point where I recognize the fault of my ways. I don't want to put it all on the way that I was raised, but I mean, when you grow up in a noble family that believes they can do no wrong, it's a hard habit to break.
I don't... Oh, were you going to say something?
Nope. Go for it.
don't know if you know this about me, but I'm also in a noble family. However, we don't live in a noble family that is above others. I think we come from worlds that are quite different, but in many ways, there are similarities between us that I see. Believe it or not. We may be we are definitely cut from the same cloth.
Oh, that should
Oddly
be a
enough.
terrifying concept for you, dear. I don't think you want to be cut from the same cloth as me.
It might be a really long, like 20-yard cloth, but it's still the same cloth.
That's fair.
So,
I like I said, it doesn't excuse how I acted. I just hope that it might give some context to, well, how I reacted the way I did. It's one of those, this is how any corrections were dealt with me, and instead of thinking that not everybody is going to react the same way.
right. But explanations are not excuses.
Nope. And that I know.
So I bid to see you change, as you bid to see mine. Then I will find it in my heart to forgive you.
I wouldn't even blame you if you never forgave me.
There's always room for forgiveness. Nothing is unforgivable. Well, maybe there are one or two things, but... However...
There's a few things that are unforgivable. Betraying somebody you consider a family member, that's unforgivable.
Well, that depends.
Well, let's say unforgettable, and definitely betrays any sort of trust that you might have for them anyway.
Yes.
And using your children for political gain, unforgivable. But anyway, I'll let you keep on leading the group, Tangaroa.
Of course.
And I'll try to relax on Archibald, but sometimes that just gets to be funny.
I think he does no harm to stay around. He might be a little loud in the mornings, but I am an early riser.
I'm up before all of you, so I know. But it's all good-natured teasing, if you would be willing to accept that.
Sure. As long as you're not going to eat my chicken, I suppose.
I will not purposefully try to eat your chicken. In such an event that poor Archibald is felled in combat, we will give him a proper...
Seasoning?
seasoning. I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's...
With 11 herbs and spices.
Sorry. There's no other way to say it. I mean, it's... But I will not go out of my way to see that he meets his end earlier than required.
Right.
I think we got one to compete with. She's circus trained. Now, as long as you promise not to eat my chicken. Out of context of the indie.
And perhaps between you and Ezra, you can both teach me how to swim.
Well, it seems we're awfully close to the ocean. It's quite literally my domain. Easy peasy.
That doesn't change the fact that I float here.
Everybody floats.
Here! And she's got her hand, just in case you're not looking at the cams, she's got her hand, like, above her nose.
Ah.
In so much as I don't float. Which is actually true. Me, a player, this is where I float. Right here. I don't float.
You know who doesn't float? Fish. We sink.
Yes, but
Unless
because
we're dead.
you swim.
Yeah.
The plains open up, and you can see a walled city ahead of you. Large double gates stand closed, and there's a guardhouse out where you can see several armed militia guys. As you pull in close, cutting the distance between the forest and the city in less than half of the guard, as you approach the city proper, stops holding, drawing you all to a halt. One of them steps forward. He has on studded leather armor, and you can see a pauldron, more like an epaulette on his shoulder that has and he holds up a hand and says, "State your business here in Vic." Speaks up and states she is catching a boat to the island of Walsh, and or the Isle of Walsh, and he kind of nods and he's like, "Mind your P's and Q's around the city. There's new people in charge here. And they don't take too kindly to them what have ill." And there's a nod, but then you watch as they step. You hear the heavy slide of the lock on the gate open, and the door is pushed open, allowing you entry. The bustle of the city, even though it is rather light, is surprisingly light. Even at this time of day, where it's probably about 3 in the afternoon, where you would start to expect to still see some kind of activity out there, it seems quiet. As you march down the main road, you can see that it's set out like a couple of different spokes. You reach to what appears to be turning a corner, a marketplace. Several kiosks or tents and stalls, as well as some buildings that are permanent fixtures. As you approach, you can see there's a giant bugbear who is currently making food at a tent, chopping vegetables and tending to people. Beside him is a tiefling who is kind of helping him keep things straightened as she is taking. They bounce and burble around. There's a textile shop nearby that you can see. They have a very set kind of in the corner, but this frontage for a textile shop that sells the uncut in cloth. So basically the raw materials for whatever you want to. So they're not selling outfits, but more like they're selling bolts of cloth and thread and things. But the market is quiet at this time of day, and you can make your way through. Hannah says that she knows the city, and although the new ownership is different, but she says that's not our concern, is it? We'll need to go to the downside boat out of here. She explains to you that this city is built on a cliff, and the wharf is actually at the base of, and that's referred to as the downs. She tells you it is a rough and tumble place. It is a rough place to be in, and it is not one to be shy about, nor is it a place where you really want to come into unfortunate contact with other individuals. So she tells you, "I'll broker the deal for us. If there's any more supplies that you need, or anything that you need to have set up or purchased, this would probably be as good a place as any to buy it before we head over to the Isles." The Isle of Walsh is more unforgiving, but in the natural element sort of way, as opposed to the people of the city. So, do what you need. If you need to come find me, I'll be at the downside. All right?
Was she bargaining for a ship?
Mm-hmm.
Before she does that, Ezra just wants to see if his mom is here, because it's a ship dock.
Okay, sure.
She said she was going to be at the Downside Tavern.
At the downside's at a tavern. probably is where you could find her.
Okay.
All right. So the city is divided. You're at in the board. You can tell that it's your working class and your average Joe and things like that. You can see off in the distance a place that it looks like it's stacked house, like apartments built on top of each other. But it looks like whoever did it just kind of made them to where they wouldn't fall and made them cheaply. You easily hear the name The Stacks come out, and that is the place that they're talking about, and you catch the idea. Anything that you might be looking for that is illicit or maybe under board, you can get in. The other place, which is actually closer to this fort that you can see in the background, it's a 4-story building with a huge wall around it. But around it, you can make out houses and buildings that are much nicer, much more upscale. The houses there, like brownstones or row houses. That's the word I was looking for. Row houses that are very kept. Several of them are behind fencing and things like that. The ne'er-do-wells away from the doorsteps. And you can easily tell, and that is the fort, or they call it the. But those are like the major hubs of it. There are smaller divisions with the major part of it. The fourth area, the fourth ward or district, is the downsides, which you down there to find more out about it. Any place in particular, anything in particular that you guys would be looking for or want to do, or do you want to just try to shove off as fast as you can and leave fair?
Well, I'd want to converse with somebody first before I decide what exactly I should be buying.
Okay.
So I will go over to Mello and say, my good friend, you are a man of great romantic and sexual conquests, it seems.
I'm gonna let that one fly.
Mello goes, go on.
Mm-hmm.
I need some help, because I don't have my father here to teach me how to be a gentleman. But I might have a date of sorts. And I don't know how to go on a date. What do I need to do? What do I need to bring? Like, I'm totally lost here, please. I need your guidance.
There are a lot of variables here. I have to assume you know the basics. Hold open doors. Don't, slap the booty too often.
What's too often?
You have to just sort of judge by yourself.
Oh, okay. I got that. Do they like that? Are you supposed to do that? Is that a mainland thing?
From my experience, if they don't like it, they slap you back.
Okay, so it's like a mutual respect type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Um,
He's like got his journal out and is like writing down everything furiously.
I hate
let's see. Don't
Should I
order
bring
the
something
salad.
Oh, don't order. Oh, okay. Okay.
Bring a snack to share
Oh.
with them surprisingly.
Like,
Sweets should not be
Sweets.
savory.
okay.
I've got a bucket of beef jerky to share.
Should I bring other things, or is that like the treat should be customary? Or
I mean, depends on how elaborate you want to go, but usually, if this is a first date, you don't have to go as elaborate. I mean, we just ran into a bunch of money. You can sort of make it up as you go there.
okay, yeah. I like this.
I hear around here, cinnamon is a great aphrodisiac. Just sort of sprinkle that on the table. A lot.
Okay, cinnamon. Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Eric, don't do it. Eric, don't do it. We're not here. We can't hear this conversation.
Okay, so hold the door open. Don't slap the booty too often. A little
Sweets
treat.
and cinnamon, yeah.
Sweets and cinnamon. Now,
Always make eye contact.
always like 24,
Always.
like 24/7.
Whenever
You're
you're
always
speaking.
like,
Uninterrupted eye contact.
okay, sounds good. How often do I blink?
I don't know. How often do you blink?
With which eyelids?
First one, then the other.
No, I got some that go up and down, and I got the little
Right.
the reptile thing.
Ladies and gentlemen watching this stream, please acknowledge the fact that this is not proper dating advice.
Or
Some
is
of it's okay, but most of it's
I
not.
mean-
Just, if you can, just try and use the inner eyelids.
Just the inner ones. Okay.
The ones that go sideways.
They're mostly clear. Like you can't see them too much
That's
unless you
not
look
less-
real close.
Freaky.
Okay, good, all good advice. Gifts?
They're the
Do I bring
ones-
gifts?
Dance, do it.
Sorry.
If there's an opportunity to dance, take it.
Okay, I will. Dancing on our island is kind of different. I don't know if you
That's
know
all
how
right.
we dance. Okay. All right. Dancing. Gifts? Do I bring any gifts?
Yes, but I'm trying to think of first date gifts. What's your favorite animal?
Oh, ooh, I quite like the hammerhead shark. Family animals.
Family animals. Might be too soon for family animals.
Okay, that was
Okay,
actually a
yeah.
super piece of advice.
Try. Something from their hometown. Try not to be too much of a guesser here, but, get something that they think they would like, but make it expensiver.
Okay. He seemed quite fond of those pearls or beads in his hair. Should I go with something like that?
Yes, a big pearl.
A big one. Okay.
Big pearl.
The bigger they get, they tend to be a little more malformed when they get quite large. Is that what what do we want?
Find a middle ground.
Middle ground. Okay.
Yeah.
Like can fit in the palm of your hand, but would still do hefty damage if you threw it.
I mean, if it fits in the palm of his hand, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Anything else to top all that wonderful and valiant dating advice with?
I'm going to, out of character here, roll a performance check to teach him a song to sing.
Oh, good. Yes.
Baby shark.
So
That might be what
Uh,
saves this disaster of
it
a
is
day.
actually a 14 total.
Okay.
Give me a
Intelligence?
yes. Give me an intelligence roll to see if
Oh.
you retain it.
Good.
If it's higher, you retain it. If it's not,
Damn it.
I'll say that's your dump stat, isn't it?
Yeah, one of them.
what'd you get?
A 12. So just barely.
You retained some of it.
Got the
Okay.
chorus.
Is it in Primordial?
Since we both know Primordial, yes.
Awesome.
What does that sound like? I gotta know. It's just the sound
Clicks
of
and
clashing.
hums, mostly.
It's clicks and hums.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Sam Riegel just did a very beautiful rendition of Sweet Caroline and Abyssal, so pretty similar.
No, not. I would
Yeah.
think that like Primordial, which is where all the elemental languages come from, like Auran and all that other stuff, guttural, like throat singing.
I was gonna say
Oh,
the
throat singing, yes.
Who?
Oh no, what have we done?
Meanwhile, Abyssal is much more
Distorted.
It's that phrase, where it says, tell your friends you love them because it's nice to tell them, but tell it to them in German because the world is also scary and violent.
Yes,
Liebe dich.
precisely. Oh, that's good. But I'm imagining the Primordial, like, it's throat singing, but every once in a while, hey, was that a burp?
I want to know, and you can give me the gist of it or whatever. I don't know what's.
You cut out for me, I'm sorry.
What song?
What song?
What is it to the tune of?
Oh no.
Oh, that I didn't think of.
It's the
You're
Beatles. I
the
want.
bar.
It's painted black.
Sound of Silence.
Tim says, "Never gonna give you up."
Oh,
So
you know what? I do really want to
was
hear that in
so
Primordial. I can't think of what to do with it, but I do want to hear it in Primordial for whatever it's worth.
That'd be a
What-
terrifying thought.
What my brain just did is it took the lyrics of Sound of Silence. Took the lyrics of Never Gonna Give You Up and put it into the song of Sound of Silence.
Which is about probably what Tongarolo
Yeah.
remembers.
Yeah, okay.
The
I hate
wrong
my
lyrics
brain.
to the tune that Mello taught him.
And the song will more or less be "I Will Keep You Forever."
You would. Solid.
As creepy as it can go.
Okay.
Okay. I'll allow it. Yeah.
I do greatly appreciate your help, and now I need to prepare because I think this is as good as time of ever while we're in this town to sit down and finally just have the nice moment between us, me, and him.
This is good. A wise student seeks greater wisdom, so you've done well here. I see that you will do well in your coming date.
One last thing before you go. Let me teach you the dance of my people, and it's the chicken dance.
Meanwhile, the rest of us, what is that screeching off in the distance?
Okay. Having learned some hot dating tips from the all wise.
Okay.
uh, Eventually, roaming around the city, you find your unless there's any significant purchases or things you got, just hand wave. Yes, it's a story.
Cinnamon.
Go ahead,
Hold
Eric.
on.
So much cinnamon.
Go ahead, Eric.
Setail.
Okay. He was gonna see if he could find a shop that sells magic, if there would be available here. If not, then
Sure, the marketplace has somebody.
Okay.
Are you looking for like reagents, components, or are you looking for something else?
he's looking for 3 spells that he wants to try to work on.
Okay.
He's looking for levitate, major image, and hypnotic pattern.
Okay. Let's see. Levitate is what? Second
Second
level?
level, yeah.
Level?
Major image and hypnotic pattern are third.
Okay. While you're in the shop, what I'd like for you to do is to give me a percentage roll for finding hit. Levitate first.
27.
Okay. Now give me a roll for the next one. Hypnotic pattern or major.
36.
Okay, and one more.
65.
Okay. Choose which one, hypnotic pattern or major image. Choose one. Flip screen.
I have a D2 for this purpose. The one will be major image. The Kraken will be hypnotic pattern.
Okay.
That is the Kraken, so hypnotic pattern.
Okay. You are able to find the levitate spell and the hypnotic. However, major image they do not have.
Okay.
The shop itself is run by an elderly gnome. She's still very spry,
Mhm.
and you can tell that she uses magics to keep together as it is. But as you ask for those particular items, you see that she has a wall that has like the diamond holders, and it's clearly, noted in there alphabetically. And she carefully rolls this long ladder that's on wheels over and clambers up. Starts looking through, pulls one down, unfurls it. The wonderful sound of crinkling paper, that rustling opening feeling. She furls it back up and tosses it down for you, and then like grabbing one edge of the diamond, she kind of like goes like this, and and she just slides down a little bit further.
He just backs up so she goes by.
Comes to a stop, and then she looks through and pulls one, puts it back, pulls another one, opens it, puts it back. And then she kind of tosses it like over her shoulder back. You watch as she grips the metal rails with her hand, the metal handles with her hands, and then puts her feet on either side and just slides, and then bounces up. Was that all you needed?
Well, first he gives up for the show. It's like, I will also need approximately 250 gold's worth of reagents to practice, so I can make them into my own notations.
She quickly rambles off the actual components for those specific, and then walks over to like around the corner to another shop. It's a small, not another shop, but another part of her shop. It's a small room, and you can see that it is filled with bottles, but they're not round. They're all squared so that they stack. And she carefully looks through and starts pulling pieces down and putting them all like on this table that's kind of in the middle of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And quickly she says, all right. And she takes out several different small pouches and, the proper amount of reagents in there. And then she quickly ties them all off, puts everything back in. It's like very, very fast, very practiced. Whenever she's done, she says, and there you are. And she shoves those forward.
So for the 2 scrolls and the reagents, how much will this run me?
You asked specifically for the 250 gold worth of
Yes.
reagents. So that was 250. The spell scrolls. It's 100 gold for the levitate spell, and for the hypnotic pattern, it's going to be another 250 gold.
Understood. So I owe you 600 then. And he will remove. Let's see. Yeah, he'll remove 60 platinum from his pouch, and he will hand that to her.
All right. She carefully counts it and looks at it, and she's like, "These are old coins. Interesting." And she puts those away. Anything else that I can purchase or provide you with today?
That is all I will need. However, there are some friends of mine who might be interested in learning a little bit more magic, so I might point them this way.
Perfectly. That would be very fine. My name is Miranda, if they come looking for it.
Sure. And he'll pause at the door. It's like, Miranda, do you mind if I ask you one question?
Sure.
This is sort of the middle of the day, but why does the town look so empty?
There's been a recent change to the governing body here.
Okay.
And in such, people are still a bit unsettled about things, given who the new leaders are. A little less, or they're a little more reticent to be seen in the middle of the day in case it seems to be improprietous to the new ruling party.
Would you mind if I asked who they are?
Well, I mean, it's a council that's put into place, but honestly, they're puppeted by another group. And she kind of looks around and then wanders past you again, her little gnomish head bobbing right past your thigh. She goes over and shuts, and then kind of turns the lock, moves her hand like this, and all this pull down. There's a group of individuals that were once pulling the strings and puppeteering. You may have heard of them. Them what slip the noose, or as they call themselves, the noose. There's a new organization. They haven't yet named themselves, but they went through and systematically, one by one, removed every single part of the noose that was here and have taken over and sort of put up this new council. I can't say that they're evil or that they have ill intent for the city, but it's quandrous and it's a bit worrisome. I'm sure everything will calm down as it does over time, and everyone will be back to their jovial way. But for now, it's a little creepy. I mean, they did some very, very good things of driving out these immoral individuals that were here, but at the same time, you push out one immoral group using immoral way. You understand what I'm saying.
I do.
It just gets to be a bit troublesome is all, and I'm sure that everything will be all right in the end as long as we stay the course, as it were.
Right. I was just curious because my friends and I are just traveling through town, and it just seemed a little bit odd in comparison to the other towns we've been through.
It is, but like I said, there's I'm sure we'll all be fine. And she just smiles and then unlocks the door, moves her hand, and all of the shades roll back up, and she opens the door. All right, be on your way.
Yeah. He'll walk by the counter, and 5 gold will be left on the counter as his hand moves past.
All right. Sateo. No, I'm sorry. Zestari. Sorry.
I want to head to the fabric shop.
Okay.
Zora would ask if she could tag along. She has something she wants to get.
Sure. I mean, I don't mind the company. I'm mostly just getting something. I want to try crafting something. been a while since I've done it. Want to see if the skills are still there.
So,
Yeah, actually, what I'm wearing is my own creation.
hmm.
Given the fact that it has a bunch of hidden pockets and hidden sheaths and nobody ever knows exactly how armed I am.
Just kind of motions to her vest. I mostly just embroider.
It's beautiful embroidery. I wish I had the patience for it.
I'll make you something when we're... Watches are boring and slow, so...
Perhaps you could teach me.
The shop is a small but quaint little. Behind the counter is a woman that's in her early 30s. You can see the telltale marks on her fingers, and someone who is used to pull needle and thread. As you enter in, you can see several bolts of cloth stacked into cubbies, as well as some that are put up on dowel rods and all sorts of fabric. And one that really catches your attention is this luscious, like a dark crimson color, but it's also got gold thread weaved into it. And when I say gold thread, upon closer inspection, you can that it is literally gold strands with she perks up as you enter. Good afternoon. How may I help you?
I was hoping perhaps maybe you carried some leather, but this fabric is absolutely gorgeous.
Unfortunately, we are not the tanner, but I do work with them, and so I could definitely point you in the right direction. But thank you very much for the compliment on that. I wish it belonged to me, but it's not. I'm merely management, and I take care of the store and tend to it. His family is a noble family that deals in Texas. It's a decent living. They take very good care of me. They let me have the apartment upstairs. I'm sorry. I'm proud of.
No, it's wonderful. The fabric. How much per yard?
Well, it depends. Which one would you?
She points to the crimson with the gold woven into it.
Isn't that exquisite? Don't get me wrong. Red on you would look great, but crimson on you, fantastic. And she wanders over to one of the cubbies, and she pulls out this um, kind of a like powdery blue looking material, and you can see it. You didn't see it at first because it's not as lustrous, but looking and you can see that this one has silver thread in it. And she's like, I particularly like this one. And she looks at Zora, and she's like, powder blue with silver.
As they were talking before, she was probably thrown on detect magic just because she's probably heard that stuff can be put into.
You do not detect any magic on these.
Okay.
I should say on these fabrics.
I mostly stick to reds and bright kind of. She kind of motions at the bright floral abomination that is herself.
My apologies. And she goes and slides it back, and she brings out another one.
It's beautiful, though.
Oh, thank you. She brings out another. This is a bolt of cloth, and you can see like a dark earthen tone, like a dark brown, but it has little flowers that have been hand stitched into it, little bundles of mostly sticking with earthen tones. So like it's a faded green for the leaf and the stem, but like it would be a daisy or a like and things like that. So all throughout there, and you can tell though that some of the threading on this, like particularly where it would be like a metallic color, or like where a metal like a bronze or a copper would, you can tell that it's been like made using. So it's got just a little bit of metal into the fabric, and she lays that. She goes back to use a star. She says that gold and crimson is um, 2 gold per yard.
Okay. And the powdery blue with silver. Did we lose him? Because his cam's
He's
frozen.
frozen.
Yeah, he's actually frozen. This
Okay.
time.
Was like,
Can you?
no, not really, Cap.
Frozen. It's a perfect chef kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just
I will admit, though, this is the first time in a long time that I haven't been having issues while streaming, so I'll take it. I have, in the hour and a half we've been live, I've had a grand total of 22 dropped frames. Doesn't even register as a percentage of what we've done.
that ain't bad at all.
Mm-hmm. Considering the fact that for Wednesday nights I've been averaging like 23%.
Yeah.
It's been pretty
Personally,
bad. I don't know why.
I'm glad that we ended up finding hypnotic pattern. Well, I ended up finding hypnotic pattern because that is a really good spell.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm the DM now.
Oh, we have his video again.
It was just the 3 at the top that shifted, so it's not too bad.
Major illusion is good too, but yeah.
Zora, would you be willing to try the powdered blue with silver in it, as opposed to the beautiful embroidered floral that you're currently wearing?
Given our ability to get into situations that usually involve a bunch of viscera, I have a feeling that it would get a bit damaged. I don't think it's meant for hard work.
I mean, that's fair. However, of course, let's also remember that Satiel has prestidigitation, so getting it clean shouldn't be a problem.
She's like really conflicted because it's like, I don't dress fancy. She's like, oh,
Well,
I don't even know what I would wear it as. I'm going to get some of this for myself though.
Would you let me make you something?
Like,
I don't know yet. Debating between maybe a cloak or perhaps something else. I don't know.
I don't know if it's thick enough for a sturdy cloak.
No,
Or
but
a warm cloak.
No, but if you, it would be good for a daytime cloak, because it would not necessarily pull in the light. It'd be cooler
let's
at the
try
very
this again.
least.
We hear you.
Not on my nice microphone, but at least I have audio.
It's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1 gold piece for the light blue with silver
Okay.
per yard.
How much for the floral earthy brownie?
She looks over it and says, "That one's
3 silver per yard.
What's wrong with it?
Oh,
Hey!
No. Take a look. That's all hand embroidered. And she's selling it at 3 silver pieces. When something that's woven is 2 gold pieces or 1 gold piece. So now my question becomes, what's wrong with it? There's more
There's
time and
nothing-
effort put into that floral.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that uses actual gold and silver where this doesn't use a precious material in it. There's a lot less extrusion of the metal going on within this one than there is within those.
Take 3 yards of the brown and floral. And she puts down the coin. And do you happen to know anyone in town that sells warm cloaks pre-made?
Say that again, I apologize.
Anyone in town that would sell warm cloaks already ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on just one second, guys.
Can you hear me again?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. Now the Discord launched. I'm great. I'm so annoyed right now. Anyway, she does tell you that there is a like a haberdash or and a clothing store that is not too far down the road from where she's at.
So Starry is going to get 5 yards of the crimson and
Mhm.
3 yards of the blue.
Okay.
Zora will put down the coin for the blue.
So Starry is not letting her pay for something she's going to be getting as a gift.
I'll pay for the materials and you can gift me your time, because it's going to take time to make.
I'll accept that.
Okay. Do you have any embroidery supply?
As a matter of fact, I have a few, yes. And she shows you a few of the kits that she has.
She just grabs like 2 basic kits. She's like, and I'll show you how to embroider.
Okay. We'll dicker over the price later.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I'll pay for the fabric and then just ask for the direction of the leather shop.
Sure. She tells you that it is about 4 buildings towards the fort. She says when you get close enough, you won't be able to mistake it. It has a certain odor about it.
If you want, Zora, you can continue to accompany me. We might run into some of the others.
I'll come along. I'm going to need to go to the tailoring shop, which is nearby, and well, better to travel in group.
Is the tailoring shop or the haberdasher on our way?
It is not. It is down another street, but it's not far
I'll
from the
just
market.
come along anyways.
Okay.
Better to travel in groups.
Yeah, so we'll hit the leather shop and then go to the haberdasher for Zora.
Perfect. Okay. Let's let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. I'm going to see if I can't straighten out my internet issues and get myself going. Give us about 10 minutes if everybody would hang out with us for 10 minutes. We'll be back. We'll call it 7:45 my time. So we'll be back. We're going to try to refresh, get drinks, things like that, and I'm going to try to kick AT&T in the face until it starts working the way I want it to. Punch it. All right, we'll be back. Thank you all so much. We'll see you all soon.
Giving up, letting go, times when you might feel compelled, looking down from the heights that we have built all by ourselves. And there is fear of the unknown, but we cannot lose control when we feel like the world is against us. Do we go is a question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We cannot see into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something bigger than ourselves. That we need higher. We have built up, we all by. That we need higher. We have built
Welcome back, everyone, and I apologize that was a little longer than I meant for it to be. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get my internet working so that I can actually do this without it breaking up on me every time I turn around, and without having to run my data up by being on a mobile tether hotspot. Anyways, back to it. You guys were cinnamon vendors. Yes. There was some light shopping going on. Zastari, you find the tanner and negotiate the price for what you're looking for. The young man that's working there, you can see he's got light brown hair, and he's already starting to get the well toned fingers, like where the treatment that they use on the leather is starting to bleed onto his skin. He has a smattering of freckles across his face with green eyes. He's probably in his late teens. A man, he greets you and asks for your order. You can see behind him another man that walks out holding what appears to be a wide leather belt, like it's that big. If not for the fact that one is clearly older than the other, they would almost pass for twins as they walk out. They, again, take your order. Clearly a father and son operation. The father is quiet. Can I help you?
I'm looking for enough leather to make a couple holsters, particularly for about the size of a spell book.
No. Sure. Can get that for you. Need that now, treated, or do you need the raw material?
Just the raw.
Okay. How large a person is it? Your size? Something small.
One of them is my size. The other one is slightly larger than I am, but not by much. So if you have any buckles or something of the like, I can make it adjustable so it'll fit.
He says, wait here. I'll get it. And he disappears around the corner and comes back after a few moments carrying some pieces of leather. He also has a series of buckles for you to choose from and sets it all down in front of you. Will that do? Do you need any sort of finishings or anything?
I'm going to need a leather needle and the sinew to attach it all together.
Of course. And again, he disappears around the corner, comes back, and lays the items that you've asked for down.
Okay. Perfect.
This should get what you need. There's enough here to make more than what you should need, but if you need more rivets or anything, don't hesitate. I take it you have a punch, yes?
She quickly sifts through her bag. I do not, so I'm going to need a new one.
Yeah, and he reaches underneath the counter and pulls one out and sets it down for you.
You wouldn't happen to have a spare awl as well, would you?
Yay. And he again reaches down and
Perfect.
lays down all the instruments you need. You've done this before.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck to you. He kind of just gives it all a glance over and he's like, the raw leather and the items, for that much, call it 10 gold.
Okay. Perfect. And then she'll pay for it in an additional 5 as thanks.
He just nods at you and kind of he says something to the boy, but you're not familiar with what's being said. It's like a dialect of common that you're not familiar with.
Okay.
But he just nods, and then they step back to the back, and you can hear some sort of sounds like they're like scraping the leather or something.
Right. And then she'll look to Zora. To the haberdashers then.
Excuse me, guys. I'm okay, I promise. But remember, wash your damn hands. All right. By contrast, the haberdasher is a place that is full of life and light. As you walk in, you can see a man and woman. I would say in their mid-30s. He is dressed to the nines, and she is wearing one of the most elegant outfits you've ever seen. As you enter in, he holds his hands out wide and says, I've been searching for you all my life. Where have you been? Look at that outfit. It's exquisite. I must know your name. And who's the tailor? Who made that for you? Is this your attaché, your entourage, if you will, pointing to Zora in her less audacious clothing.
Okay. That's not an entourage. Her name is Zora. I made what I'm wearing.
One of my sisters made mine.
Yeah, not lovely. You made yours. And the boots.
Of course.
What size are they? I have to know.
I think that's
Zora's
gonna
back off and-
ask.
Like-
What's that?
Zora's just gonna let this happen. Thanks, Zora!
She's like taking a couple step backs and like looking around with detect magic. Like,
Yes, don't worry.
Somebody
I'll act as the
this
distraction.
From the distance, Satiel feels the sudden burning desire to throw a fireball at something.
I have size. It's a standard female size. I don't know what you're expecting.
And he like lifts his foot delicately up, and you can see that he is wearing a very low heel boot that is very supple. Something to fit my toesies that will show off my feet and just the supple curve of my calf. I thought maybe those boots would be perfect for that. A
I'm
heel
not
that
selling
size?
you my boots.
Of course not, darling. I would love the pattern, though.
I can't say I have it with me, but I might be able to
Something
share
in...
it with you.
Something in... I'm thinking a dark purple. Yes.
Wow, that's ostentatious.
Astrid! And he turns looking at the woman, who glides over like the skirt, which her skirt goes all the way to the ground, has a gigantic bustle on it. You can tell that the corset is pulled tight, and she's like intentionally pulled tight. And she's wearing, normally you'd have a peasant blouse that kind of billows out of the top, but you can tell that whatever she's wearing is very, 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 very tight to her skin. And she makes her way over. Yes, brother. And she looks very vacant. Those boots in purple, what do you think? They would look lovely on you, brother.
The story is immensely uncomfortable.
Zora's like from behind them, giving her the story look like this whole town's giving me the creeps.
Did you walk into Stepford? No, you're looking around with your magic eyeballs. There is a gown that shimmers with illusion magic. You can see a corset that also has enchantments on it. There seem to be several different pieces of articles of clothing in here that have some sort of enchantment placed upon them.
She'll just kind of like catch the starry's eye and like make it very obvious that she has detect magic on. Like she would have noticed probably the different pupil sizes and just kind of nod to each of the items, seeing how they like talking to her a little bit better.
Zastari is going to use message to Zora, since then they're the only ones who can hear it, and ask, is there something that you want here, specifically? Tell me now before I debate just setting this place on fire.
25 words.
It may take her 2 messages to say the whole thing, but, you know,
Do you want
it's
something
like...
before I burn this place to the ground?
Yeah, do you want something before I burn this place to the ground?
Long warm cloak. Do we want to know anything about the glowing items? Nod.
Okay. As you so eloquently put it, I'm looking for a warmer cloak for my companion.
Oh, for her. Yes, I have something for her. And he wheels around again and marches off, and she glides quietly behind him, her hands clasped in front of her.
Zastari is just going to lean down to Zora. I am really, really tempted to cut every single stay in that corset just to see what happens.
His or hers?
Yes.
He stops at a beautiful cloak, and you can see that it is not reversible, but the lining on the inside of it is a different color. It's a like plum color on the outside, and on the inside of it is just like this it's not silver, but it's like a kind of a grayish silver color on the inside. It looks really pretty.
Like a steelish kind of color?
Yeah, like a steel. I loathe to say like gunmetal because it's not that color, but yeah, like a steel.
Okay.
Like a burnished steel. Looking at it, you can see that it has a clear spot to insert your arms, and then it doubles and it comes down and covers you. It looks very warm, and it's a very deep hood on it. Like, and you disappear.
What do you think about that one?
Does it have any glint of magic on it? Just
not on this one. Yeah.
And then she's just out of curiosity, because she wants to see what changes She asks for one for herself. While
Oh.
Zora is looking at this one, and then she talks to him just to see what changes if she asks for one for herself.
Astrid, tend to the Zora. Come with me. And he, like, holds his arm out for you to, like, place your hand on his.
Yeah, she'll do so because it's polite.
Then
there goes the knife.
in the side.
No. Remember, I said I'm just gonna pop every single thread in his corset, in his stays. Like, I'm just gonna start popping them if he continues to be obnoxious.
He guides you towards a back room, which is like more like a side room, but you can see that it has mannequins, all of them, and they are eerily accurate and detailed. Every single one of them are dressed in super fine clothing, and there is one that is wearing this beautiful cloak that drapes over perfectly and engulfs them almost to the point where you can't see what's underneath it. You can see some fur lining on it, and you see that the hood has a fur lining to it and also comes up.
Sorry, I can't remember if you told me. Is this man an elf?
Actually, no.
What
But
is
you do see some elven ancestry, but you get the idea that he is not a full elf, that he is
Okay.
probably half elven.
Okay. It's just like, this guy's being... I can't tell if this guy's just being an asshole or if he's being a racist.
Or both. Both
Or
is possible.
Both is possible.
They do kind of tend to go hand in hand.
But you can be an asshole without being a racist. So,
This is true.
all
squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
Exactly. Okay, so she'll look at this cloak.
Mm-hmm.
So, does this happen to have any sort of special properties with it?
My dear, this entire room is full of things with special things to them. Shall I? And he unfastens the toggles, which there's the way that it works is there's like almost like a flap so that it looks seamless.
Mhm.
And they're just underneath there. So there's like a little panel, and he just kind of works the panel back and undoes them all, and then dramatically like drapes it off of there and whirls it around and lays it on your shoulders, and it's very
It's me,
lightweight.
Anastasia.
Grandmama, it's me, Anastasia.
It's light. It's very lightweight. Like you were expecting it to be heavy from the look of it, but as he places it on your shoulder, it's very light. And it's almost immediately comfortably warm. Like you were warm, but now you're like cozy in a blanket warm.
Okay.
And what's really funny is like the hood is down, so like the back of your neck here, where the hood rests, is warm, but like your head feels fine. You go to put the hood up, everything is warm except for like right here in front of your face.
Right.
And then,
And all of your clothing has this sort of property on it?
not all of my clothing. All of my clothing in here.
Right, and some of the clothing out front?
Some of it, yes. For those who can afford my prices, it's worth.
Right. Well, this has been, shall we say, eye-opening.
That cloak looks amazing on you. Here, and he kind of like gently takes your shoulders and moves you forward. You can see that there's a full-length mirror. Yes, fully doesn't care about your comfort level. He like shoves you in front of this full-length mirror, and you can see yourself in this mirror and this cloak on you, and it seems to fit perfectly. You didn't remember what color it was when like he whipped it around, but it seems to match perfectly to your outfit, like to a T.
Okay. And how much would this cost?
That beautiful cloak, normally 800 gold pieces, but you made your outfit and those beautiful heels. You sure you don't want to share your pattern?
Oh, I'd be willing to share my pattern. However, I'm willing to share it to reduce the price for my companion's clothing.
I tell you what. 500 gold pieces for yours if you give me the pattern for the boots, and we'll throw hers in at 30. Actually, hang on a second. Let me look at something real quick.
Now, Zora's just really short for a human, right?
Yeah, she's just tiny.
Okay.
She's still human. She's not halfling.
No worries. No worries. I have the perfect idea for this. Don't you worry. How tall is she?
1 second. I have this in my notes. I think.
Now, you guys gonna try to get into a
4'11".
movie? Try to get into a movie pretending to be humans.
4'11".
4'11", okay.
Try to get into a movie theater with
No,
one of you
no,
stacked
no,
on the
no.
other one's shoulders.
No. That would make us like
Okay, great.
9 feet tall, so no.
We're Goliath.
Yeah, we actually no. Combined with the inches, we wind up over 10 feet. No, I was more curious. Does this cloak go like all the way to my ankles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fine.
Narrowing my eyes at you like, what are you going to do to me?
Nothing. No, it's fine. I know what I'm going to do, and he's going to be real pissed about it when he sees it.
Hmm.
And of course, I'll need some parchment and charcoal to be able to give you the pattern for the boots.
Of course. I'm trying to find. This Monday is sucked so far. Okay. Oh, God, I forgot what it's called. I can't find it. We're going to stick with what I said because I can't find what I'm looking for. Anyways. Sure.
Okay.
He easily gets what you need to draw the patterns out.
Sure. She draws them out for him, and then, the next thing she does is she counts out the 50 platinum for the 500
Mm-hmm.
Gold piece cloak, adds in 3 platinum for the 30 for Zora's cloak, takes both of them, hands Zora the better one, which was the one that was nice and warm, and keeps the other one for herself. And then says, Zora, if you will.
This one was okay.
What do you? No.
She puts it
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry.
No.
After you sold it to me, it's mine, and I can do with it as I wish. So
But-
perhaps maybe you shouldn't be such an asshole to your customers, and then you wouldn't get, well, fooled. Zora, after you.
Wait.
Zora and Elvish. Yes?
He speaks back to you in Elvish. I apologize. My attitude towards you was rather haughty, and you didn't deserve that. Such an exquisite cloak needs a fine outfit. Not that there is anything wrong with the one that was handmade by your family, but you are heading into colder weather, apparently, needing a colder jacket. Allow me to show you something that would work well to keep you warm as well. May I escort you to my special room?
She kind of like gives the eyebrow the special room, but she's like, and if you try anything, she has knives. And I have things worse than knives. And she'll just
course.
let Axel hovering above her head.
Yeah.
And Zasari is going to stand in the doorway to that room. Just
Sure,
to be on
absolutely.
hand. Just to be on hand.
Much like whenever you put it on, you didn't remember what color it was until it got on you. The same thing kind of happened when you took it off, and you don't remember what color it was until you put it on Zora. And Zora, it matches your outfit. It's kind of a dun colored now, so it matches the browns. Leading your way into, or the floral pattern that you have on. So it looks like, your grandmother's favorite couch from like the 1980s.
Fantastic.
It's that one pattern that everybody had on there, it was like the weird big flowers, but it was like that really like microfiber feeling. So it's like everybody slid off the couch no matter where you sat on it. Anyways, he takes you into this room, and again, there are mannequins just, not everywhere, but they're perfectly in line, and it's eerie how detailed they all look as far as their facial features and things like that. But you can
Do
see
the mannequins give off any detect magic, or just the clothing on the mannequins?
You're not sure. It looks like
Okay.
the mannequins as well as the clothing, and not all
Okay.
the clothing in here does, but there's a lot of it that does. You feel a presence over your shoulder, Zastari,
Mm-hmm.
as Astrid is standing there with her eyes on you, unblinking. Do you like the cloak that my brother picked out for you?
Yes. It's lovely.
It looks lovely on you.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Can I roll an
Thank you
insight
for
check on
asking.
that?
You may.
Can I roll one because I've dealt with her before?
Sure.
It is a 17 on the die plus 4 for 21.
19.
She seems as though she is under the influence of something. She absolutely believes she's fine. But you can definitely tell she's under the influence of something.
Message to Zora. I think the clothing, or perhaps he, is casting some sort of spell.
He takes off a nice shirt that has kind of like bigger sleeves on it. There's a leather jerkin that's kind of fitted over the top of it. He takes them both off, and he's like, I think that this, even though the sleeves appear to be a billowing thing that would catch wind wherever you want to, but I promise you that it won't. As you see, it will form its size to the wearer, and it will look great. If there's a pattern in particular that you think you would like, say, the one that you have on. Merely think of it, and the illusion magic within the shirt will make everything happen. Would you like to try it on?
I'll take your word on it.
Certainly. Now, the vest itself is merely a vest. It just seemed to go with it well. Do you have a sturdy set of traveling boots?
Her boots are probably the most sturdy thing on her. She's just kind of nods. She's like, these ones, these are made to last.
Well,
Not the most fashionable, I assure you, and as you have known.
Everyone can be changed with fashion. Let me show you one more thing. And he takes you over to he takes it off of the mannequin, wheeling it around with a couple of buttons, and it's a skirt. And if I may, and he drapes it around your waist and buttons it, and you realize it has two panels that button, one in the front and one in the back. Exquisite skirt. A great idea that was passed along to me. You can unbutton the panels and then button them individually, and it becomes pants. Isn't that fabulous?
Definitely something, yes. It's
handy.
Sure, yes. Does it have pockets?
Is it... It does need pockets, doesn't it? One moment, let me have those. And he wheels you around and he kind of takes them off again. And he goes, "They're rubbish now," and he throws them down on the ground.
They're-
Garbage.
No,
Absolute
please.
gar-
Would you
No.
stop it?
Zora,
What
just let him do it. It's fine.
is wrong with him?
Let me make it up to you. And he goes and gets a sash, and he says, "Your friend might be interested, but I thought that maybe you would be interested in this." And he holds it out to you, and you can see there are thin stitches down the inside of the sash. He takes and whips it around you and ties it off again one time. And he says, "There are little pockets inside of it. You can store things, components." And he looks over at Zora without missing a beat. "Knives." Looks back to you.
You mean looks at Zastari, says knives.
That's
and
what I
then looks back at Zora.
meant. Yes, thank you. Looks at Zastari, says knives, and looks back at Zora, and he goes, "And if you know where all the pockets are, you can actually put something in there, like a token or something like that, that will allow you to control the individual who's wearing it." And I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm hearing this, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Is the sister wearing the same kind of sash?
Not that you can tell. She's wearing this
16 on the dice. You said wisdom saving?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a
Mhm.
20.
Wow. You do feel the effects trying to restrain your body like it was holding you in place, but you shrug it off and look at him, and he goes, "Oh,
I suggest you take that off of me right now, as well as your hands, unless you wish for me to keep them."
well, I've grown attached to this pair."
This
And he
pair.
steps back. He steps back and says, "You can take it off yourself."
She holds out a hand to the sorry. "May I borrow one of your knives, ma'am?"
Oh, allow me to do you one better. And she's just gonna come over with the knife in hand, and she will just right through it.
I need an attack roll.
Sure.
Please.
With the dagger. Oh god, that is a 10.
You catch the fabric. Give me a percentage check, please. Just a
Sure.
percentage roll.
There's this one, and then I need.
Dueling! Go!
No, I
There
can't
is
find.
a s-
I have like. There it is. Okay.
There's a slim
35.
chance. 35. Okay. You're fine. You feel the bite of the dagger close to your skin, but it does not seem to cut the material that it's made out of.
Zastari, instead of focusing on this sash, she'll hand the dagger to Zora, and she'll pull out another one.
He's gonna try and nodding it, see if that works.
I need you to both give me initiatives, please.
Oh, good. I love when
We
this
were just shopping
happens.
for clothes,
We-
man!
We just wanted nice things.
I just want to go on a date, man.
Oh man.
21.
18.
Okay. So 21 for Zora, 18 for Zastari.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. You get to go before them.
Oh, good.
Mm. All right, Zora. He's laughing.
Could
It is your
she
turn.
hold primal savagery, but the effect stay up until he attacks?
So basically, you're wanting to hold your action to attack him whenever he attacks?
Yeah, if he or possibly the sister, because she's figuring the sister's probably brainwashed,
Mm-hmm.
but she's gonna hold primal savagery for no, because that's gonna get blood on stuff, which might lower the price.
And I mean, if he's dead, we can just take it anyway.
We probably shouldn't be killing people in town with the change of. No, she's gonna hold Eldritch Blast.
Okay. And what is your trigger for Eldritch Blast?
One of them attacks her or Zestari.
Okay, perfectly fine. All right, Zestari, what are you doing?
Well, I am just going to walk right up to him
Mm-hmm.
and, with my rapier out, I'm just going to very gently point it at his throat. Like, we're talking, it's very close. Yep. Now,
Okay.
we're going to do this one of two ways. You are going to drop the enchantment and remove the sash, and you're going to set your sister free, or I'm going to kill you. And then your sister's free anyway, and we don't have to worry about it. Those are your options.
Intimidation check.
Okay. Oh god. Please.
Roll high.
I'm trying. Oh my god. Stamina.
Roll high.
Roll. 14.
He doesn't seem to be intimidated by you. He looks at you and smiles and he says, "Free my sister. You think my sister's being controlled by me? No. No." And he, like, this blade is sharp, isn't it? And he walks, like, nudges forward until it pierces him a little bit, but you do not see any blood that comes from it. And he comes back and he goes, "Ouch."
Zora?
I don't the fuck know.
No, I know, but you got any way to get a hold of somebody.
Maybe.
I mean, I could, and she like sends Axel. She's like, find somebody.
And then Zestari is just going to attack.
Okay. Hang on just 1 second. Go ahead and attack.
Yep.
Attack roll.
And I'm also going to use my bonus action this turn to activate Insightful Fighting. So I need a deception check from him. So we're going to roll that first. It's his deception versus my insight.
Oh god, no, that's only a 4 on the die.
16. Okay.
I would say it works.
Now I'm going to attack, because now I get sneak attack.
Okay.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, that hits him.
Okay, and then at this level, it's 4d6 plus the d6 for cold and the d8 for the rapier. Okay, 4 and 5 is 9. Sorry, yeah, 4 and 5 is 9. No. Oh my god, I can't fucking count. That's 7. Plus 1 is 8, plus 6 is 14, and 7 is 21, and 5 is 26.
Okay. 26 points of damage.
Yes, sir.
And you said some of that is cold damage?
3 of that is cold damage.
Okay. Give me just a second here. All right. 26 points of damage. Damn, Gina. All right. Is that your turn then?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Sarah, I'm sorry.
Zora's just like, I just wanted a cloak.
I just wanted to get nice things from my friends.
All I wanted was one evening.
Just wanted to come to a town, but the star, you always start fights in town.
All right. He is going to draw an attack of opportunity from you as he steps back.
Okay. That is a natural 20.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me that damage.
Yep. I just gotta get more dice.
And Axe will just be going for whoever he finds first, so I'll let you decide who he finds first.
Okay. So one thing at a time. We'll do the weapon damage first. Question. Would sneak attack trigger because of insightful fighting? And
No.
this is technically not my turn? Okay.
Nope.
Let's go back. These still go. 10 and 4 for 14 plus 5 for 19.
19 points.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
4 of that is cold.
Okay. Doesn't. Okay. You watch every time you hit him, he just seems to laugh at you. But out of the corner of your eye, you notice his sister seems to flinch back every single time. All right, and it is their turn. No, it's his turn already. You were just doing attack opportunity. He is going to look at you and look at Zora and tell you that you both look really, really tired.
Counter spell.
Ah. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, is it?
Did this motherfucker just try to put us to sleep?
Mm-hmm. Damn. Zora, as soon as you finish... Oh, no, I guess, yeah, Zora would be the closer one. As you finish attack or, doing your counter spell, you feel your, arm being tugged and you turn to see her trying to, slap you. But you can see that her fingers are jagged and clawed. She is holding them like this the whole time. And as she does, the first two miss you. And then she hauls back and just rakes at you one last time. It's going to be a 17.
To hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll hit.
The claws bite in deep. And you take 10 points of damage.
Owie.
I'm sorry, actually. Yeah, no, that's right. 7 points of damage. 10 points of damage, excuse me. That look she had in her face of that kind of vacant look has been replaced by this ghastly, terrifying look of murderous intent.
And my sympathy has gone out the window.
By sympathy, there you go. It is your turn. And actually, you would have had your trigger from your...
but since I used my counter spell, would it have nullified that?
That's true, because it does. Yeah, because it does use your reaction to replace that.
Yeah.
So,
gonna give it a shot. Fey Presence. I need a 15. I need a Wisdom saving throw for.
what's the DC?
15.
That is only a 13.
Is it for both of them?
Oh, you need for both of them. Sorry.
Yeah,
no,
10-foot cube. So probably
it's a
centered
15.
on her.
It's a 15 on the nose for him.
Well, she's gonna. If it works on her, then she's gonna try and charm her, I guess, and be like, "You don't want to hurt us. My friends will be coming. If you don't hurt us, they won't hurt you."
And she just kind of looks at you for a second, and then puts her hands down by her side, and she's like, "No, don't hurt you. No.
Right? Don't hurt us. How about just go sit in the other room for now?"
Oh, okay. And
Thank
she
you.
does that thing where she kind of walks out of the room. Is that your turn?
That takes a whole action. See if I have anything I could do bonus action. Bonus action, gonna like mentally to Axel. Have you found anybody?
He responds back. His normal cocky, confident self goes, "You know what would really be nice right now is if I could get out of the goddamn building."
Is it familiar? Oh no, you can't phase through stuff though. Oh,
This is not Tuesday.
yeah,
You're
I'm
not
thinking.
playing with Yanni.
I'm thinking Yanni from Tuesday.
The familiar.
He's
that
gonna
phases
bolt
through everything.
backwards and try and bolt backwards and open the door if she has enough movement.
Looking out, you don't find a door.
What kind of bullshittery is this?
The kind that gets you trapped.
Yeah, I just wanted a cloak, man.
Just wanted nice things.
Okay, yeah, that's her. That's all she can do.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you. Zastari, it's your turn. What are you doing? You can
He's-
see that he...
He doesn't seem to be taking any damage, but his sister is.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's taking the damage that I am dealing to him. Something of that nature.
Something along those lines. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Given what I know about magic, having seen both Zora and Satil cast, can I see something that would be obviously magical in nature that would be connecting the two? Something that would possibly look, the same, like identical, perhaps like a pair of bracelets or something along those lines?
Sure, give me an Arcana check.
Sure. Uh, 18 on the die, plus 3 for 21.
Nice. As a matter of fact, you don't know why it didn't strike you before. They both have long hair that is currently being kept up by a small buckle that has a pin that slides through it, like a hairpin.
Okay.
They both wear a matching set.
Who's closer to me right now?
He would be closer to you right now.
Okay. Okay, so here's what I would like to do, and you have every right as the DM to tell me no.
Mm-hmm.
I still have the dagger in my offhand, rapier in my main hand. I'm going to attack with my main hand first, and then with my bonus action would be attacking with the dagger. The idea with the dagger is to cut his hair and release the hairpin. Basically, fade
I want
out
you to
with
make
the main hand, and then...
Yes, but instead of making an attack roll for the second one, I
Sure.
want you to do it as a sleight of hand.
Okay, I can do that. Alright, so we'll reconcile
Attack
the
roll
first
for
one.
the first one.
We'll reconcile the first one. Oh god. I don't think a 10 hits him.
No, it does not.
And then that's a 17 for sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, okay.
He's gonna get really specific dice. It makes me nervous.
Don't be. It was a bad roll.
Okay.
He does not. In deflecting the attack with the rapier, he turns his head just enough, and you quickly dive the dagger in, and slicing the hair, it all drops the buckle, and you hear it go clunk to the ground. He looks down at it, and his eyes are wide. No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. He immediately tries to turn and run,
Which gives me an attack of opportunity against him.
which does give you an attack of opportunity against him.
19 on the die, plus 8 for 27.
That definitely hits him.
Okay. 4 plus 5 is 9.
9 damage?
Yeah, 9 damage total.
All right. All right.
And he actually looks like he takes it this time, yes?
Yes, and he stumbles forward, and as he does, you hear a crunch, and he stops moving. What was the very flourished, beautiful-looking man now lies a mostly desiccated corpse as it's laying there on the ground.
What the hell?
From the other room, you hear, no.
What? Zora pokes her head around the corner.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Little unnerved. Is the door back?
Mm-hmm.
Is she dead? Like, is the sister dead, or did she just collapse?
She's collapsed, but where the vacant but vibrant life of the individual there is a crone, old and curled over. The outfit now fits her. It's ill-fitting on her. She is leaning heavily on one of the racks that holds several garments, and she kind of coughs a rattling, rasping thing that you think is going to blow apart her frame and leave her nothing but dust and bone. She finally catches. Okay. She finally catches her breath and looks at you all. So, the magic has been broken.
What did he do to you?
She reaches back and takes the buckle and the hairpin out of the now, like, very, very fine hair that doesn't look like it has any, it's this wispy stuff. And she just hands it to you. He drew my life and then would feed on others to keep it going.
The mannequins look different now.
No, not really.
Okay.
But she does say, and she points a crooked finger as you look back towards them. Yes, that was them. All of them. He made me.
Oh, jeez.
He made me do it all so that we could live long lives. He was going mad. His madness finally got the better of him. His impatience and
Healing word.
You think this is not going to be a healing word situation?
She's gonna try.
Zastari's gonna kind of just grab. Is there like a chair somewhere in this room?
Mm-hmm.
She'll grab it and drag it over for the crone to sit in, so she's not like having to exert energy to stand.
She just kind of sits and she's like, all I can say is thank you for your service. Passive perceptions for both of you, by the way. What's yours, the story?
17.
Okay. Zora?
16.
Okay. All but the magical items, the clothing that had magic to them, are like moth-eaten. They look old and like they're not cared for very well. Unfortunately, that includes the plum-colored cloak that you had. Now,
But
the
one
really
that
nice
didn't have. Okay.
the one that Zora has on is still there and is still nice and warm. All right. She just says, leave and maybe somebody else will open up a shop here.
What will you do?
Hopefully die.
Is there something we can do to ease your...
She puts a gnarled, bony hand on yours and pats the back of it for a moment. You've already done it for me.
Right. Then...
Axel, in your head, goes, I found the bloody fucking door!
It's okay. You're... Come on back for now, I think.
But I saw the big horny one.
Ezra.
Oh, yeah.
The big horny one.
Okay.
Why do I can just imagine Zora going, Tangaroa?
Oh, that's not cool, bro.
If only we had heard that conversation.
Yeah, if she had
of
heard the
Tangaroa
conversation,
and
she
Moa.
would have out loud said Tangaroa.
All right, so
Can we pay you for the goods at least?
she just looks at you with like, what? She's
Zora,
like, no.
she's going to be
Never-
passing on probably
never
by
mind.
the end of the day.
Okay, can we... We're just gonna go then, I guess.
Would you object if we took our money back, considering Collett's services paid for?
I don't care.
Zastari's gonna go and search through that dead corpse for the money she's paid, including the... Yeah, and she'll grab back the blueprints for her boots as well, because there's no need for anybody to have those. Those are specially made for her.
Those are dangerous.
Yep, yeah.
All right.
And then she'll kind of collect the... Because Zastari has the non-magical cloak, because she had given the magical one to Zora.
It was moth-eaten now.
Yeah. So she'll hand the good one back to her. Lady Crone, if there is anything I can do to assist you further.
No, you've done enough for me.
Zastari will bow. I apologize for any sort of damage that I inflicted upon you while attempting to solve the magical riddle.
It's all right. Be well and be safe. Protect one another.
Oh, that's why we travel in groups. And she looks at Zora like, man, I am so glad you were fucking with me.
This is why we travel in groups.
She kind of just smiles and then drops her head, like her chin into her chest. You can still barely see like her chest rise and fall. But other than that, she's not going to really, like, she's kind of done in.
Sorry, it's
As
just
you
gonna
guys
open the door for Zora, like, yeah, let's go.
Let's just go now. Let's go find the others now.
As you collect your things, your money, and the store, we are going to go to Ezra. Ezra.
Yes.
There's a large lift designed to take carts up and down the cliffside, and you hop on with a bunch of other individuals. Familiar with the cut of their jib, if you will. All of them sailors or some sort of seafaring folk. As you kind of meld into the comfortable groove as they start to head down, you can hear them talking about conversations of unnatural ice that seems to be forming on the northern edge of the channel, like where the Isle of Walsh is. As you get down to the base, you can see the wharf is a city in and of itself. While it is not a straight shot, it goes out with the cliff and back in. And you can see that it's got many jetties and other like piers and things like that go off in spokes in all different directions. There are all manner of ships here. Unlike most of the stuff that you've seen where there are like fishing vessels, a lot of this seems to be trawlers, or they have most of them are shipping vessels of some sort, large ones. As you see, come around the corner, you can see several taverns. One of the buildings, I say buildings in that a lot of these places are small wooden fronts that go into the like a cave system, or they've dug out of the mountainside or the cliffside itself. One of them that draws your attention, though, would be the Harbor Master's building. Clearly marked with a sign. The door to it is thrown open, and there's a job board out front looking for seasoned sailors, or looking for people to help with an exploration crew, or looking for anyone that can hold a rope in their hand or row an oar. All manner of different jobs on there. And again, all sorts of vessels up and down the wharf side. What are you doing first?
I'm wondering if just looking for Mom's ship is going to be faster, or if I should just go to the harbor master to see if she's docked in.
Sure, whichever way you'd like to go.
If it feels like it's going to take me a long time, I'll just go to the harbor master to see.
There are a lot of piers, and like I said, it's a pretty big place.
Do the harbor master then.
All right. As you step in, you can see a podium, and on the podium is a large book. Behind that, you see, and it's kind of a wide space, so the book is sitting there, but you can also see like an inkwell set up on the edge of it, and there's a coffer there on a raised platform behind the podium.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a halfling. His ears are, he's the pointed ears of a halfling, and he has a shock of curly hair that he clearly gets cut. He has the chin strap beard that comes all the way down around. He looks leathered and tanned like anybody you would expect on the wharf. And he has very intelligent eyes. Again, welcome to the Harbor Masters. How can I help you?
I'm just wondering if a specific ship has docked.
Lots of specific ships dock here. Is there one in particular that I can help you with?
I am looking for, now if I can find the name of his mom's ship that I named it, the Coral Snake.
Oh, this book is really large. There's a lot of ships docked here this week. It's...
Would a coin make it go a little bit faster?
And doubly so for a few more.
I'll pull out 2 platinum.
Okay. He looks at it as you put it in his hand. He goes. And he puts it quickly in his pocket, and he goes and flips right to it, and he gives you the directions to the pier that the ship is docked at. Pleasure doing business with you. If you need anything else, the Harbor Master's office is always open.
Thank you. It's going straight to the ship.
And as you approach the ship, you can see there it stands. It's rigging in place. It looks like it's not leaving anytime soon, but it definitely looks like it's not fresh in, if you will. Somebody is currently working the wood, scraping some of the barnacles off, and you can see they're making repairs to it here and there. And standing at the bow of the ship, giving orders and casting them about, is a very familiar figure.
Oh, I'm yelling. Just, Mom! Just like from the bottom.
She turns and kind of looks around and then sees you, wraps the rope around and swings out and just kind of slides down the rope and lands in front of you. You're alive. And then she doesn't even wait. She just rushes up and hugs you. And as we embark on this warm embrace, that is what we're going to actually call it for the evening. We'll pick up next week with the, hey, you're not dead.
Surprise!
Quite good.
I will go ahead and say thank you to everybody. A huge thanks to Maddie for hosting, and to V for making sure that all hosts got out there. Huge thanks to Eric, who stuck it out with us even though he's not feeling the best. Thank you so much, buddy. A huge thanks to Molly. That was some really good RP from you guys tonight. Sarah, thank you so much for joining in. Zora makes things entertaining in her flatline humor. And Steve, the best dating advice ever. So thank
We
you
do
all so
not
much.
condone
Cinnamon.
following said advice.
Always cinnamon.
I do.
Eric, get to
Yeah.
feeling better, man. And I want to go ahead and tell everybody, I really stay away from talking about current events, but there's two things that I really want to cover real quick before we leave. One, tomorrow in a lot of places, it's voting day. The best way to make a change in the world that you want to see is by voting that way. So get yourselves out there and vote. All right. The other thing is that right now there is a serious outbreak, and the only way you can stem it is to make sure you take care of yourself. If you feel ill, go see the doctor. Make sure you wash your hands. Make sure you take care of yourselves. We want to make sure that everybody is healthy as they can be so they can enjoy D&D. With all of that being said, remember that we still have 3 more shows this week. We have Tuesday with Esper Genesis, Wednesday with Monster of the Week, and Thursday with our third episode of Descent into Avernus. So join in to watch all of the shenanigans that we have going on this week here at twitch.tv/DiaryBearGM. We will be back next Monday, as long as nothing catastrophic happens. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, love yourselves, and love one another. Good night, guys.